Hi everyone, and welcome to Sustain Life Journal Yoga. This yoga class will include 20 minutes of yoga asana, the physical practice of yoga, and 10 minutes of meditation, also called dhyana. Let's go ahead and get started in a child's pose. With our feet together and our knees apart and our hands stretched out in front of us towards the top of the mat. In this yoga class, I'll be using a mixture of English and Sanskrit to describe the poses. If you enjoy today's class, I invite you to subscribe to the channel for more yoga flows. Let's bring our attention to our inhales and exhales, really tapping into the present moment and the time that we've carved out in our day to take care of ourselves. Begin to press into your knees and your hands, moving yourself up into our tabletop position, Varmanasana, with our knees under our hips and our hands underneath our shoulders. Begin to extend your right foot out behind you, coming on to the tops of your toes. You can shift forward and back on your toes and hands as slowly or quickly as you prefer. Maybe rocking side to side and really just getting into those tight spots. Draw your belly button in so you have a straight spine, and then begin to lift your right leg out behind you. Bend your knee, and then we'll move through some rounds of cat and cow. Draw your knee in towards your chest, and on your exhale, release your foot behind you. Take a deep inhale, carving your back like a cat. And exhale, release your foot to the sky, chin towards the sky. Take an inhale, drawing your belly button in. And on your exhale, release your foot to the sky. Inhale, nose towards knee. And exhale, release. Allow your right knee to come to the mat, and we'll move through that flow on the opposite side. Extend your left foot out behind you, coming onto the tops of your toes and shifting back and forth, stretching out your arms and your left leg. Begin to lift your left leg up towards the sky, and then bend your knee into a 90-degree angle, and we'll move through our cat and cow on our hands and knees on the left side. Feel free to go at your own pace, following your breath. Gently come to your tabletop position, and we'll move through a couple rounds of traditional cat and cow pose, Vithilasana and Marjayasana, lifting your chin up towards the sky and then drawing your chin towards your chest. just evening everything out to continue on with our flow. When you're ready, begin to tuck your toes, lift your knees, and shift back into your downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Pressing deeply into your palms and allowing your heels to come towards your mat. You can warm up your legs by bending one knee then the other, and then when you're ready, finding stillness. Slowly begin to tiptoe your feet up towards your hands, moving in to our forward fold, Uttanasana. The crown of your head is falling towards the earth, and your knees can be bent to any desired amount. If you'd like more of a stretch in your hamstrings, you can straighten them. But bending the knees and extending them is a great way to try out different things in our body. On your next inhale, we'll halfway lift, bringing a straight spine, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up into mountain pose, Tadasana, hands over our head. And on our exhale, we'll bring our hands to heart center, moving into Anjali Mudra. Taking a few moments to just tap into the present moment, to refocus on our breath, and to possibly set an intention for class, something that we want to focus on through class or cultivate as we move through this yoga flow. On your next inhale, reach your hands over your head and then waterfall forward into our forward fold. Begin to bend your knees and plant your hands on the mat, moving into our plank pose. Really pushing into the palms of our hands and drawing our belly button in to create a straight spine. When you're ready, you can bend your knees and shift your hips back into a downward facing dog, allowing our heels to fall towards the mat. They definitely don't have to touch. Mindfully begin to move your feet up towards your hands into our Uttanasana forward fold. Take a deep inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, bringing your hands up over your head. On your exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, bringing the crown of your head towards the mat. Plant your hands and step back into a plank pose. Begin to bend your knees, coming into kind of a lifted tabletop position, and then shift your hips back into a downward facing dog, and then shift forward into plank. Bend your knees, lifted tabletop, downward facing dog, and then moving forward into plank pose. You can do this little flow at your own pace, moving slowly or as quickly as you prefer. Just really try to draw your belly button in order to protect your back through this movement. When you're ready, you can allow your knees to come down towards the mat, and we'll move into an extended child's pose, Balasana, allowing our forehead to come down towards the mat and spreading our knees out wide, taking a few moments just to rest. If you'd like to stretch out your arms a bit, you can bend your arms and bring your hands behind your head, stretching out your triceps. You can slowly begin to walk your elbows forward, which will increase the stretch in your arms. Release your hands back towards the mat and then slowly begin to rise up onto your knees. Roll over your shins, allowing your feet to extend out in front of you, coming into a seated position. Root down through your sits bones, and you can bend your knees as generously as you prefer. Extend your hands up over your head, and then slowly allow your hands to drop in front of you towards your feet. Your hands do not need to reach your feet. They can come to your thighs or shins, and then gently allow your forehead to come down towards your knees. Gently begin to release your Paschimottanasana, bringing your chest up, and then we'll go ahead and move into Janusarasana by bending your left leg and bringing the sole of your foot to the inside of your right leg. You can extend your right arm out as far as your body feels comfortable. Maybe reaching for your shin or even the inside of your foot. And when you feel ready, you can extend your left hand out and even reach it towards the direction of your foot. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and on your exhale, release your body. And we'll move over to our left side, bringing the right sole of our foot to the inside of our left leg, and extending our left hand out towards our foot. Begin to sink into this pose as we feel out how the body reacts to this pose on this side. It could be completely different than our first side. Our body can feel different on each side. Gently begin to release from this pose, and then bring both feet together at the top of the mat, and we'll release down onto our back, moving in to one of our last poses before Savasana. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat, draw your belly button in, tucking your tailbone underneath your body, and then lift your hips, moving into our bridge pose, Setu Bandha. Pressing into our heels and drawing our hips towards the sky. Gently begin to release your hips towards the mat and let them rest. Gently lift your hips, moving into our second bridge pose. If you would like to deepen this posture, you can tuck your shoulders underneath your chest and bring your hands to clasp underneath your body. When you feel ready, release your hips to the mat, and then we'll move through some windshield wipers with our legs, allowing our legs to fall to either side of our mat, rotating on our heels and extending our hands out beside us. The next time our knees come to our left side, we'll allow them to just stay there and rest in a supine twist. If you would like to deepen this pose, you can bring your left foot on top of your right knee. Take a deep inhale through your nose, and on your exhale, we'll try this twist on the other side, allowing your knees to fall over towards the right side. And again, if you'd like to deepen this pose, you can bring your right foot on top of your left knee, but only go to where it feels comfortable. If you feel any sharp pinches, then you should exit the pose. When you feel ready, begin to extend your feet out towards the edge of your mat, and we'll move into our Savasana. If you'd like to take Savasana in a different form, please do so. Sometimes I like to lay on my belly or bring my feet together to touch into a Baddha Konasana. Just do what feels right for you. In this resting pose, we can allow our bodies to really absorb all the benefits that our yoga asana has brought to us today. The peace that we feel in our mind and body as we close out this portion of class. Begin to bring small movements to your fingers and toes, maybe stretching your hands up over your head like you're waking up for the day. You can gently roll over onto your favorite side, using your arm as a pillow, and just relaxing in this fetal position. You can remain in a laying down position, or you can begin to press into your hands and to come to a seated position as we move into the dhyana portion of class. And up through your spine, and you can begin to close your eyes or allow your eyes to fall at a soft gaze. In our meditation today, we will just keep our attention on our breath, and I'll let you know when the meditation is complete. Begin to deepen your inhales and exhales, and bring small movements to your hands and feet, reawakening the body and mind to carry on with the rest of your day. I hope this class brought you a little extra piece to your day, and I really appreciate you stopping by to take class with Sustain Life Journal Yoga. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video if you'd like to see more yoga classes. If you'd like more information on sustainable living and wellness, you can visit sustainlifejournal.com. Again, thank you so much for joining class, and I hope to see you next time.